will kick it away to start. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. So Penn State's offense will go to work first. This wide receiver matchup is one that we've been waiting to see. You have two guys on either side, Jesse, who are really going to make the secondaries nervous.
Oh, they should, because these guys can take the top off of defense. You've got two very dynamic individuals playing on each offense, and if I'm playing quarterback in this game for either team, I am going to take my shots and give my guy an opportunity, because both of these guys, David, have proven they can make circus-level catches.
I mean, when they're not open, they're open. I mean, they can make the dynamic catches, the contested catches. They have the speed. They are two of the best playmakers in all of the country. So whenever an offense has the football today, you're going to like the show.
He lobs one high down the left side. That was almost picked off, and what a disaster that would have been to throw a pick on the opening drive. Instead, it's 4th down. They kick it away on 4th down. Fields to punt and try to pick up some yards. They'll put that return to a stop at the 33, but the offense set up in pretty good field. Offense will get the ball for the first time. And they are going to be met up front by a defensive line group that is going to make life miserable on the offensive line and the quarterback in this whole offense. And the defense makes a play, and they get the quarterback down at the 26. This crowd bringing the energy and noise early. Finds his man. It's Dennis. They make the stop, but not before he takes a chunk out of what they need to move the sticks. The decibel meter's about to explode. One of the great environments, wide-out level noise. And that's incomplete. A defender all over him. Knocked the ball to the ground. 4th down coming up. The Ducks send out the punt unit. They'll have to punt for the first time this afternoon. He will not make a fair catch. Field the punt and bring it back. Pretty solid coverage there, and they'll stop him at the 26. The Nittany Lions going back to work on offense now. They went 3 and out on their first possession, now to see if they can be more productive. There he goes! Deep in the season, that crisp air all around you, and this feels like a must-win game, guys.
This is a game that will impact the college football playoff. It'll have conference championship implications, and it'll have bowl game implications as well. David, so much riding on the line in this one.
And you can feel it, man. You can feel the energy. The players this week, they were on high. Like, you could tell they were ready for the challenge. This is going to be an absolute showdown.
The short hands, it's Byrne. And the defense had that one well covered, just a short gain there. Picked up some yardage with that completion, now 2nd down. Looking to throw again. Throws to the wideout. Working that left side. And the defense makes the immediate tackle, but he has enough for the 1st down. And the Nittany Lions are on the move. Tight end in motion, see how the D reacts. From the red zone, looking for a man. And the defense makes a play, and they get the quarterback down at the 26. The Nittany Lions with a long way to go after the loss on the last play. Second down, they'll go to the air. Using the quick game. Steps out of bounds just inside the 20. They'll mark him down at the 18. Now facing a 3rd and long.
It's so important that this offense is able to stay on schedule. And what that means is keeping 3rd downs manageable. That last completion to the tight end accomplished just that. Really nice play call.
And this defense, we know, they present a lot of challenges. You can see it right there, man. They shrink windows fast. They're a top 25 defense.
Oh, they blocked the kick.
And the short field goals are a lot harder to block because they get up high in the air, but nice job by the kick block unit getting in there, getting their hands up, and blocking them a field goal, baby.
Picks up a useful 5-yard chunk out to the 30-yard line. The Ducks in a good spot here with second and short. He's got it again. Not a lot of daylight. He gets one to the 32.
Man, it's really hard to control the running game if you don't control the line of scrimmage. And how about the defensive line doing a great job attacking those guys up front, not open up lanes to run through. Nice job just nullifying that run altogether.
Hey, really nice job on defense, too, understanding the situation. It's third down. We're fine giving up completions right there. We're not giving up the first down. We're keeping the football and the ball carrier in front of us, and we're tackling the catch. Awesome job, and now you've set up fourth down.
A bold decision to go for it on fourth down, and one that did not pay off. They'll go to the toss. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. From the gun, running back gets the give. Trying to pound their way forward. He picks up a couple to the 31. It'll be 3rd and long. They'll go to the air. Quickly out on the screen to the wide receiver. They'll make the stop about 3 yards short of the first down. They'll try to salvage a field goal on this drive. Got to make sure they're sound in protection. They had one blocked earlier. Dead center perfect. And with that, they break the seal on the scoring. It's 3-0. We've reached a break, and Penn State is on top. We put one in the books. Let's have a look at our game summary. They've switched ends of the field, and we're ready to get things started here in the second. Kicker has everything lined up and about set to get this one underway. He'll start the return inside his 5. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. And Oregon has it back, and here comes the offense. They're looking for any type of offense to try to get this thing going, down 3-0. Followed that blocking and got 5 out to the 26.
And I would just hate to be in the shoes of these defenders trying to tackle this running back because, of course, you're so afraid of this guy shaking you and using his elite speed to make you look bad on a highlight film somewhere, but you forget this guy can still run you over. And you saw it on that play.
The Ducks get a fresh set of downs with a fast, hard finish on that play.
Fast is the word. As long as I can remember watching Oregon football, it's always guys that can get the football, get downhill, get back in the line of scrimmage, run the next play really fast, but it always starts with the...
He hurls one deep down the left side. Makes the grab at the 10. And he just kept running, and he ran away from the crowd, and he'll take it in. Touchdown, Ducks!
This offense is so good. Man, they can hurt you in so many different ways, and they do it so quick, so explosive. They can put small drives together, big drives together. They've really had a great year, and that's why they're a top 10 offense.
And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. Penn State sends the offense back onto the field. They've been pretty much stifled on offense so far, David, only able to muster 3 points in their previous 3 drives.
And you got to find a way to open this up and create some explosive plays. The passing game is obviously the easiest way. Jesse, put more speed on the field, find those guys down the field.
And you know they're frustrated, too, because they felt like there were some matchups they could take advantage of to get some points on the board early. In this one, they just haven't been able to connect on those opportunities. But I like David's idea. Maybe move some guys around and see if you can create some better one-on-one matchups.
Snap from the gun on 3rd down. Makes the grab on the left. And they'll move the chains and get it to the 47-yard line. The Nittany Lions have it with a 1st and 10. Wide receiver comes in motion. Looking downfield on first down. Nowhere to go with the ball, and down he goes at the 39. The Nittany Lions trying to find their way forward after the big loss on the last play. Gets the back moving. Second down, they'll go to the air. Fires to the big fella. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down marker. The D thinking bring some heat on 3rd and long from the 44. Looking downfield, and he needs a bunch. They'll run the screen. He's not going to make it. What a job by this defense to stop him in his tracks. The Nittany Lions line up to punt it away. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. Just needs a crack to get a return. And they'll bring him down to get the offense started on the next drive. The give to the back. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. They got nothing on the last play at 2nd and 10. Keeps looking downfield. He's going to run it. Just keep moving this thing forward. He's out of bounds. They'll mark him down at the 37-yard line. Here comes the noise from this big crowd in Happy Valley on 3rd down. Midfield, he's got room. They convert on 3rd down as he gets it to the 46-yard line.
Well, he was able to gash him on that play. You just give this guy 1 inch, one little crease. He puts his foot in the ground, and he gets north fast.
Wants to go up top on first down. Got a little space. They'll force him out of bounds after a solid pickup on the play.
And that's a pretty good job by this defense. Man, it's so hard to limit these quarterbacks, and they're spreading you out all over the field. When they take off, it's hard to limit the damage. Nice job limiting the damage. And I'll tell you what, make it physical. Finish those plays and try to tackle that guy and make him think about running the football in the future. All right, defense. It ain't working, right? They're stringing together several first downs here. We're going to need to change this up, find something we can disrupt the quarterback and mess up this offense a little bit.
And he got smacked just as he released the pass. It's incomplete. Behind the chains now on 2nd and long. After the incompletion, they go back up top. They'll run the screen. Not a whole lot of room there on that screen pass as it just never developed. They'll take this lead to the 2-minute timeout and see if they can tack on a little more before the break. They've moved it to the 25, but now facing a 3rd and long. The offense will have to use its first timeout of the half. Decibels rising as the crowd gets behind this defense on 3rd down. He wants to throw it again. That pass not close as he got drilled trying to deliver it, and it'll bring up 4th down. They'll play it safe and try for 3. It's good. He hit that one right down the middle. Now up by 7 points here in the second.
And you want a touchdown and you want to be aggressive, but man, right down the middle, that obviously gives me some confidence down the road that I can trust this guy.
Plenty of time to work, not any time to waste as they take over here in the final 2 minutes of the half. They're going to test the right side with this one. He's going to lose a yard on that one. Quick tempo, no huddle offense. 2nd down, clock's running. Wants to go up top. Fires to the wideout. Working the middle. Good, solid pickup on that one. They've got it out to the 40, and it's first down. Looking to throw on first down. Under pressure, and down he goes at the 33. There's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the first half. Back to pass on 2nd down. Caught in the backfield, it's Evanson. Didn't have much room to run and not a whole lot of help. Short gain there and still plenty of ground to cover for the first down. Trying to move the sticks on 3rd down. Bringing the heat. Pass pass rush coming after the quarterback, and they get him at the 32. The defense calls the timeout, their second of the day, as they try to get their act together. And the Nittany Lions will bring the punt team onto the field. Catches it cleanly at the 20. He gets a block. The solid return there offsets some of the punt yardage and really sets up this offense nicely. Here we go. They'll try to get something on the board here in the final minute of the first half. Got his man. They'll get him down, but not before he crosses the 50. He's down to the 49. And the Ducks are in the hurry-up. Wants to throw on first down. They've got the screen set up. And there were no creases or crevices to run through, and they shove him out of bounds.
Those screen plays, you really want to sell it, get it to your running back, and get him to the second level. Get him running full head of steam on a safety, on a linebacker. He almost got going, but just got tackled before he could really do any damage.
How about this sophomore learning when to just do it himself? The Ducks come to the line with a fresh set of downs. To the air on first down. Pressure coming. Had to get rid of it quickly. Just couldn't find an open man. He'll get rid of it, and it'll be second down. Running out of time here in the first half. They're going to have to be efficient to put some points on the board before the break. Rushes on him. And the defense picks up a sack, getting the quarterback down at the 44. They'll use a timeout right before halftime. Maybe time for one or two more plays. Chains keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. Offense changing the play. On third and long, you'll have to turn it loose deep. Oh, he dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You just have to make that catch.
When you make big plays for your quarterback in the game, you catch a touchdown pass, he's going to look your way again, often, downfield like they did right there, but give the defense credit, forcing an incompletion.
Here's the pressure. Did as he throws. He's picked off, and he's thrown a dozen of them. Takes it the other way. Inside, touchdown, Nittany Lions. This defense making a big play and putting it in the end zone.
And they come up with a huge pick six, and that is one of the reasons this defense has been so dominant all season long. They don't give up big plays, but they take the football away. And once they do, they've got better athletes than you do. They're hard to bring down. They can flip the game on a dime.
That's the end of the second quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin and our halftime update.
Guys, one of the best environments in the game, and Happy Valley has given us a fun first half. And talk about a good, competitive game so far. Not saying this has been the best first half we've seen in the history of these two programs, but they've matched each other's intensity, and the result has been, well, a good, competitive game so far. They don't call me the most creative man in broadcasting for nothing, you know. And with that, let's send it back to the guys inside Beaver Stadium.
The Nittany Lions will kick it off to start the second half. Looking for blockers. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. The Ducks ready to go back to work on offense. First drive of the second half, always fun to watch. You see what type of tweaks were made at the half, especially when you're locked up in a ball game like this one.
Yeah, and it's been a good game. I mean, it's been a little bit of back and forth and a feeling out process. And now once you get in the second half, who's going to get aggressive, Palmer? Who's going to take some shots, try to make some plays, and really go for it?
Yeah, it's interesting. I think as play callers right now, you learn a lot about these coaching staffs with respect to who does make the best adjustments. There's a lot of coaches that believe we're just going to be who we are. We're going to keep doing what we do. We're just going to do it better. But then there are others that tweak things a little bit on offense and on defense. We're going to find out here.
Oh, he's got some space. And this This offense is feeling it as they rip off a big chunk of yardage, and they've got it on the 22. The Ducks, after ripping off that huge run, let's see if they can do it again. He is going nowhere. Stopped at the line of scrimmage.
And that's why he is an All-American caliber player. He is just so physical and dominant against the run. He's able to shed blockers.
And here's a fumble way behind the line. Everybody needs a little luck, and the offense just got it by falling on that fumble. Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. Here's a heat. It's picked off. 13th time he's done that this year. Got some room to run.
And this guy's showing off his hands again, understanding where the football's going. He breaks on the football so quick. And guess what? He makes plays when he breaks on it. That's 2 interceptions here through 3/4 of a football game.
And the quarterback is toast back at the 35. The Nittany Lions now with a long way to go to pick up the first down. Now the play fake. Fired just a little too long as the junior frustrated he missed that connection. And after that incompletion, they are left with a 3rd down. These corners going to give them some space. On 3rd and long, hoping to throw beyond the sticks. Unloads to the right. Got a man, it's Evanson. Defense swarming on that loose ball. It'll be a turnover.
Defensive coordinators always preach swatting and batting at the football and trying to punch it out, trying to dislodge the ball from the ball carrier, and boy, they did it right there.
He lofts it high and deep down the left side. And he is finding wide open defenders all over the field. His 3rd interception of the day. Well, this is not what the doctor ordered in terms of starting field position. Looking to throw on 1st down. He's got his man. Good job running that route to get past the sticks because he got nothing after the catch. Looking downfield on 1st down. Quick completion on the out. And this one will be stopped for no gain. Backed up now, here's 2nd and long. Back to pass. Pocket breaking down. And the Heat gets there. And they get him down at the 14-yard line. Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On 3rd and long, doesn't need to take the check down. Got his man on the right. He'll get it up to about the 32-yard line before he stopped, and it'll be 1st down. The Nittany Lions look to keep this drive humming. Wants to go up top on 1st down. Makes the catch. Turning it on. And he was loose and not stopped until he gets to the 47-yard line. The Nittany Lions have it with a 1st and 10. Looking to throw on 1st down. Fires complete on the crosser. They'll finally get him on the ground, but not before he makes it to the 30 and gets a 1st down. They're about to run a dirty half-dozen plays on this drive. Caught in the backfield. It's Byrne. Touchdown, Penn State! And with that one, they jump on top here in the 2nd half. Well, they started with horrible field position, but ended with perfect field position in the middle of the end zone.
It all comes down to execution, Reese. You've got to have guys going out and doing their jobs. You saw the offensive line up front. They were physical. Skilled players made it happen with the ball in their hands, and the quarterback really showed command on that last drive.
And Oregon has it back, and here comes the offense. They'll go to work, trailing 17-10 and hoping to put together a productive drive. Unleashes one. Working on the right. They get him stopped and out of bounds at the 45-yard line, and the big play has this offense ready to mount a threat. They'll give it to the back. After the 3-yard pickup, they come to the line 2nd and 7. looking to fire. Oh, they're after him. Incomplete thanks to the great defensive pressure there that sort of threw them out of rhythm.
And you didn't have a lot of panic in the first half, but man, you're starting to get down in the second half, and this offense just has really, really struggled, underperformed. You know you're a better team, but this offense hasn't shown it. This team hasn't shown it. It's the third quarter. They got to get it going now.
Oh, he's ready to take a shot. And it's picked off for the fourth time today. Going the other way, and he's got room. And they capitalize not only on the pick, but on the great return to improve this field position.
It's all about making plays, and this guy's been waiting to make his mark on this team. He gets his first interception of the season, and what a momentum-changing play for his team.
Looking for a gap. It's Evanson. He had all kinds of company as soon as he got it. He had to fight his way back just to get to the line of scrimmage. Got stuffed on first down. It's 2nd and 10. Red pass, it's complete. He'll step out of bounds just short of midfield. They'll mark it at the 49 after a good pickup on that play. And talk about spreading the ball around. Everyone getting a chance to show off the hands based on the number of targets we've seen. Not only is the scoreboard on their side, but so too is time as we open the fourth. With the break, they had a little extra time to dial something up this third down play. From the gun, wants to pass. And the quarterback will be slung down back at the 43. And the Nittany Lions will send out the punt unit. Fourth down. Not able to pop the big return, but they've got the ball back and ready to go with a fresh possession. The Ducks ready to go back to work on offense. This certainly hasn't been their best day, but there's no time for mistakes now. They have to execute if they want to snatch this thing from the fire. The give on the option. Breaks into the open. They get him stopped at the 26, but that'll be enough for this offense to go to work on first down.
I love the play call running the football here in the fourth quarter because with the score what it is right now, everything is at your disposal on offense. You are not panicking. This isn't throw every single down, all of a sudden 2-minute air raid type stuff. You can run the ball. You can do all of your stuff, personnel, shifting, motioning. You just got to be very, very careful and absolutely cannot turn it over.
Boy, did he look as if he was going to go. Gets it down to the 37.
Well, Reese, you and I were talking about this before the game. How is this defense going to be able to deal with all the speed they have offensively? You saw them just rip off a big play.
And, Jesse, now their head's spinning just a little bit. Give up a big chunk play, and it's right back at them. Got 3 on first down. It's 2nd and 7. Wants to go up top. And they can't make the connection, and it could get worse. A penalty flag on the field, and it's in the holding zone. Let's get the call. We'll repeat the previous down, but this time the offense has 10 more yards it has to cover. Bunch formation for these receivers. Going to swing it on 2nd down. Throws for the tight end. He's got it.
This is a tight end that not only is going to play with his hand in the ground, but he can line up in the slot as well and attack the defense vertically. He's too fast for linebackers to cover, and he's too big for DBs to cover. He's a real weapon in this offense.
Trying to make magic with his feet. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Try to make up for some of that lost ground on 2nd down. Back to pass. It's incomplete. They've been waiting to run that one and couldn't quite pull it off. It's 3rd down. The decibel meter's about to explode. One of the great environments grab. He'll be stopped about 2 yards short of a first down. And here we go, down the score. They'll go for it on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Finds his man down the middle. He unleashed a bullet on that pass and converted to 4th down.
Gotta love it. Some people get conservative. Some people don't want to mess up. 4th down, you can tell. He wanted that window, and he threw it as hard as he could. Throws a strike to the wide receiver. Gets the big 4th down conversion.
I think that might be an example of the running back maybe trying to do a little bit too much. Everybody wants to try to bounce the ball outside and hit the home run, but in college football...
Touchdown, Oregon! The offense puts up 6 with that trip to the end zone. Extra point here will tie the game. A methodical drive that they finish off by tossing it to the tight end.
And the tight end, I'll tell you what, this is a position that... so much, right? And you see him move all over the field. It's kind of like, where is Waldo? You got to find this big fella, especially down in the red zone area. This is the guy they're going to target and make the big play, get the touchdown.
The Nittany Lions going back to work on offense now. Another opportunity here. They had to punt it on their last possession, but this time tight game, hoping to get something on the board. What a tackle in the back. They'll lose 6 on the play. The Nittany Lions have put themselves in dire straits after that last play. It's 2nd and a mile. Motion from the wideout. Just not quite able to make the connection. It's incomplete. You make up the game plan and not a lot on the play sheet for this. 3rd and long from inside their own 20. Looking to throw, and he needs a bunch. Takes a shot as he lets it go. And the defense getting a hand in there on 3rd down. The Nittany Lions will call on their punt team. 3 and out, they got stuck in reverse. They hope the punt can bail them out. Makes the catch, and now looking for just a little bit of daylight. He was working his way on the return toward midfield. They'll stop him at the 46. And Oregon has it back, and here comes the offense. From the gun, the running back has it. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield. After getting knocked back to open this drive, it's 2nd and 12. Throws to the tight end. Got him downfield. Always nice to have that security blanket of the tight end.
And it's nice to have a tight end that can line up in different areas of the field, too. It's not always going to be in a 3-point stance. He can sometimes be in the backfield. You could flex him out into the slot. They might even try to put this guy out at wide receiver in the split end position and see what he can do there, because this guy is a weapon.
They get this sophomore on the ground, but he continues to make plays. And the Ducks will line it up on 1st and 10. They'll ride the hot hand. He's wrestled to the ground right at the 15-yard line, and a big red zone opportunity here. This crowd even louder now on 2nd down as they try to hold on. The clock has stopped, and we've reached the 2-minute timeout. The noise level is relentless here on 2nd down. Power football with the run. Pulled down at the 11-yard line as they inch closer and closer to pay dirt. Boy, they'd love to pick up this conversion and go to work with a 1st and goal. They'll try to run for it. Couldn't quite nudge it in. Not sure you could get much closer, but it'll be 1st and goal. The defense going to stop the clock with a timeout. They want to make sure they have everybody on the same page. Fans are bringing the noise on 1st and goal. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball. These fans raising the volume on 2nd and goal. Under fire. That, friends, is a busted play. Incomplete. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Lets it go to the end zone. Touchdown, Ducks. They move on top here in the fourth.
Man, how about this offense in crunch time, doing what they do, getting 6 on the board. Now I turn to my defense right now and say, boys, we need one more stop. Go out there, get me one more.
And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Penn State sends the offense back onto the field. There's plenty of time to work with here, but they have to be highly efficient in their attack, Jesse.
So it comes down to the quarterback position too, Reese. Don't let the moment get too big. Play within yourself, David, because this guy's practiced the situation before.
No doubt. Use the sidelines. They're your friend. I don't have to take deep shots. Throw beyond the first down marker so I can stop that clock for a little bit and possibly use my timeouts.
Makes the catch. It's Evanson. He was running through tackles and picked up the first down and finally got knocked down. And quickly to the line of scrimmage, they spike it and stop the clock. They've got to move quickly here. Still a chance, but they've got to force the ball down the field. Second down, he'll throw it. Excellent coverage and good use of the hands to knock it away. No time to waste here. They've got to get set and pick up chunk yardage. Third and long, and he'll try to throw for it. He's taking the deep shot. And it slips through his fingers, incomplete. That would have been a huge gain if he could have held on. It's a one-score game late, and they've got to go for it on fourth down. Desperate to convert, and he'll throw it. Finds him out of the backfield. They'll stop him short. Just what they needed as they get the ball back to their offense. And the quarterback's just going to take a knee. What a show both of these teams put on today. Couple of outstanding squads. Hotly contested battle all the way to the very end.
Yeah, we came into this one expecting this to be a back-and-forth battle. We knew it was going to go down late into the fourth quarter. At the end of the day, the higher-ranked team, David, they were really able to lean on those playmakers and that leadership they've got in the locker room.
Yeah, and now I think even more so, you're starting to believe in them. They're battle-tested. This team they find a way to get things done. That's why they're ranked where they're at. And I expect this team to stay in contention for the college football playoff because they're proving week in and week out they're a really good squad.
Thanks so much for spending some time with us. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis, and this has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.
you.